All right, welcome everybody. We are here with some incredible genius, legends, and heroes. I'm Commander Salamander, and it is a pleasure, an absolute just honor to have these gentlemen with us today. Here, it is so good. It's a beautiful day, and you know what? We got Rion De'Rouen's work. His work is centered on spiritual empowerment, energy healing, and providing tools for personal and collective transformation through his Team Light platform and store. We're going to learn more about that. And of course, we have our amazing commander, Emery Smith. He's a scientist, inventor, television host with Gaia TV, recognized for his groundbreaking work in advanced biology, regenerative medicine, and classified research. You guys, we are living in an incredible time to be alive here on planet Earth. You are amazing human beings and multidimensional light beings, and we're stoked to have you on the forefront fighting in what we know. This is a spiritual war, and we are the spiritual warriors. So thank you for showing up today, Rion and Emery.
What's up, bro?
Rion, what's going on, brother? Man, I'll tell you one thing. You know, we've been talking about this. It's funny because just today marks my 10-year anniversary of my first episode on Gaia TV, which was the time I met you on Conscious Life Expo in California.
Yep.
And you gifted me an amazing gift, and I sent it to Cameron. Cameron, put it up on the screen when you can. And you know, Organite, all the stuff that you do. I love what you do because I love being around people that create things to heal and help people and protect people.
Yes.
And you know, there's a lot of people out there making Organites, doing certain things, but you know, there's a formula to it, and that's what I love about it. He's got a specific formula, and it's a wave pattern that can, like, you know, block things out. You know, I do it with, you know, with some of my nano emerald green, as people know about, you know, some of these things. But there it is right there. That's it. Go to his website.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think I made you the bat phone because you were like Batman that year. You needed like, you know, you were coming through like Batman. This is more for a full size one. This actually blocked the smart meter. If you guys have a smart meter on your house, basically it sends a signal, you know, at 3 a.m, around 3:30, where all the smart meters talk to one another.
Yeah.
And what happens is that sends that high frequency pulse, boom, through the neighborhood as it goes to the dispatch box.
Yeah.
And that bounces that energy back away from you, back outside the house. So it helps a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you know, we've tested this many times and it works fantastic. So, you know, these are something that I recommend everyone, you know, get not only for your Wi-Fi and, you know, your cell phones and wherever you're working with electronics, number one, because all those things, all these things have these horrible signals. And that's why Rion and I get along so well, because we're both trying to get these types of technologies out there to help preserve and protect the DNA so it doesn't get changed too much. Some change in DNA is important for the ascension and stuff, but that's kind of what you do on your own time.
Right.
You know, with, you know, what we teach all the time about meditation, self-awareness, and treating the body like it's the last body you're going to have. And I think these are important things, and that's why I support Rion. And then, you know, like I said, it's been 10 years, and I can't believe it's been this long. I still have the bat. Darla and I still use it. It's on the Wi-Fi. I know Cameron. I sent it to Cameron. He's going to pop it up on a picture right now. You guys are going to laugh, but you know, these are like little things you do that are simple for your body that, you know, enhances and also, you know, protects your body from these harm. Everything is set up. The computer, the lights. You're set up for failure, but it's okay when you have these types of technologies. You're going to blend in. You know, one of the extraterrestrials told me, you know, you guys are the most resilient beings we've ever created, that we're coming back to get DNA to figure out how we can fix ourselves in the future. So even our future selves are saying, We are that amazing, and we can accomplish amazing things and manifest too. And that's where you come in.
Well, the most important thing is, especially in activating that dormant DNA, which you were talking about, to realize that we are all wearing these suits, this hue of manifestation right now, but our spirit, our core, our truly the spark of our creator, that creation, that energy is something that is uncontrollable. It wants to grow. It wants to love. It wants to ascend. It wants to evolve. It's something that a lot of other extraterrestrial species look at us like, wow, you guys are you won't stop. You're like unstoppable. And that's literally, I just feel like our creator, right? Whoever that may be for you, mind you, but that original creator of our souls, that sort of power, innocence, love, creation, it's really a part of who we are. We love to help each other. That's our true nature, is helping one another, hanging out with one another, doing cool things together. I like doing activities. I mean, me and Emery, I'm sure if we had a couple sea-doos at Lake Havasu, we'd be having a great time right now. I mean, just bye. I just want to put some music on and just close my eyes and ride a sea-doo out. This world is trying to make us, it's really just kind of like this phantom matrix and all of these different, let's just call them harvester species or whatever these energies are. I don't want to get too into it. They all see our potential and they're all trying to ride our tab. I feel like we have about 15 different species on this planet. What are they really doing? Riding our tab. They're trying to attach to us, manipulate us, control us. Why? Because we are operating within the golden timeline right now. I think that's the old bat phone.
Yeah, so I guess that's a bad picture. But in the middle of that is the bat.
Hey, camera, look, hey man,
it looks like
I don't. Oh yeah, I know.
But,
Cameron, hey, listen, I don't want to be blocked by a Gatorade. Thank you. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so that's the old school one, and I can tell everyone kind of basics of how it works. Whenever you're going to make a black layer, especially in a piezoelectric device. Now, mind you, if you guys are making Organite, you have to use a type of resin that when it dries, it squeezes. You can't use eco-epoxy. It does not squeeze. The same volume you pour that mold in is exactly what it's going to be when it dries. You need something like a polyester resin that is going to compress, hence the piezoelectric effect. And the main combination to fight that 5G and stuff is going to be a combination of black tourmaline, shungite, and I've got about 30 different crushed stones and crystals in this, but also the high-powered magnets, brass, and titanium. And actually on this device, you can see it's like making a pizza. You crush black tourmaline and shungite in a base layer, okay? Then you put your high-powered magnets. They can be ferrite or neodymium. You do a pinch of brass on each of the magnets, and then you surround the area with the titanium shreds. Titanium. Use that. It has a higher oscillation factor. You don't want to use steel, and you definitely don't want to put aluminum. Don't put aluminum around a human body. You guys want to make a cloud buster and put it in the backyard? You can use shredded aluminum. Do not put aluminum under the bed under someone. We're getting dumped on with enough aluminum from the chemtrails. I can't do it. Me and Emery can barely speak because we're like, why is my throat locking up? I'm like, I don't know how many parts per million are they dumping on my face right now? I mean, what is this? You're in Colorado. I'm in Sedona. You know this. I'm just trying to say the jig is up on these guys. And you know what Bobby Kennedy said? Not to make this just right into the paint with this shit. He goes, who's dumping the chemicals? Who's running it? He goes, DARPA. DARPA's in control. So, and who is Elon Musk but a point man for DARPA? Listen, I got no issues with whatever this is. I'm just trying to say, I don't want to be your guinea pig, you little shits. I didn't incarnate on this planet to be your guinea pig. Number one. Number two, our souls outrank almost every single being walking the earth. So you ask yourself, hey, this is my lowest fractal, most confused, dumb blonde and Orange County version. And even he's asking questions. So what are you guys doing? So I have to have a question, with some of these outfits. They don't have our best interest in mind. And the only thing I can state for everyone doing this, these beings are in direct violation of galactic protocols and free will. Every single moment, every single plank second is monitored on this planet, and every single adjustment, this is against our free will.
Yeah.
You can't do bioweaponry on a population. I'm sorry to just take this right into like a political thing. It's not. I'm just trying to be honest with everybody. It's like, why do I even have to create these to protect ourselves in our home, jackasses? I'm not some sham wow salesman. I have to make these because because we're getting bombarded with weird shit. So that's what I'm trying to say. Some of these agencies, and Bobby Kennedy, he says, hey, they're trying to shut down the chemtrails right now. And you know that, Emery. So
it's great you mentioned it, because we're on a podcast or webinar like this, we can say whatever the fuck we want. And before Elon was where he's at now, he was pretty much 80% of his business was sending out satellites for DARPA and monitoring us. And I know this for a fact. I stood up Elon a few times for breakfast. And the whole thing is that they are trying to, number one, track every frequency of every person on the planet, which they're very good at. And a lot of the stuff that he was doing for, some of the stuff was for defense, which is great. Some of the stuff was not for defense, which I don't approve of. And even though he's the richest guy in the world, God bless him. He's got all this new stuff. He is exposing some great stuff. But the whole fact of the matter is everything he said is number one true. And the whole thing is it's not in service for the normal human being.
No.
And that's where we have to come up, make these devices, make certain solutions,
Yes.
And oh, by the way, your pack is coming to you today.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
So let me know. And these are things that it's been going on for a while, but like you said, Rion, we're so resilient. It's the worst race to mess with.
Yeah, no, and the thing is that here's the deal. Like when I, like I said, in 09, 010, I was the first one to make a how to astral project. If you guys don't know who I am, I made how to astral project video on YouTube. It was like the first video on YouTube on Earth on how to astral project right when YouTube came out in like 2009, 2010. Yeah. The video is hilarious. You may be a lot more in common with it now if you're just waking up. I'm like, yo, bro, like, I don't know what you're going to see. There's like ghosts and spirits. It's like going back in time watching it, right? It's been 15 years. But it's a great place to start if you're just waking up. It's a candle technique I taught myself, okay? So anyways, fast forwarding 15 years, the main function is when you're having all these multidimensional conversations, you're channeling, you're meditating, you're in the backyard, and you're asking deeper questions. The main thing we all kind of have to figure out is that, we are so strong, powerful, and resilient together. However, with very powerful beings, right? Here's the whole thing with these negative ETs. They don't have freaking emotions. Some do, and some are like Spock. We're like, I will see you. They're like, I don't really feel it, but I'm kind of pretending. Here's the thing. Our creator created this game. This is how I feel like. Why do humans have such gnarly emotions? And how are we so passionate? And how are we so powerful? If we, like, for example, if we want to save someone, like, if the whole planet's like, go get them, I don't care what species you are. If we were on a rescue mission, we're going to save that being. We have some hyper focus when all of us get together and we're like, let's save this. Let's create this. There's something about human beings and us on this planet. It's very, very powerful. So how did they keep all of us contained for so long? How did they keep the sleeping giants of old asleep so long, or the residents of Atlantis or Lemuria from past times and ages? They kept us unconscious? They kept us sleeping. They kept us laying on our backs, unconscious of the real reality that was going on. And now the whole population's kind of sitting up and going, where am I? Why am I listening to these Riris that obviously don't have my best interest in mind? Who put them in charge? What species is in charge right now? I remember when the giants walked the earth, these beings were still hiding underground. So they're in charge now. Like, I have a whole different cast of, characters, let's just say, that are elder versions of myself that are from different time space that are like, you guys still can't be falling for that shit. You got to be kidding me. And I'm like, no, dude, they're literally chemtrails. There's crazy stuff going on all the time. I mean, you can't even eat bread in the United States. I'm talking to Yeshua. I'm like, hey, man, I just want to eat some bread and feta cheese too. I blow up like Santa Claus. You got to help me out down here, man. I can't even break bread. They ruined bread, Jesus. Jesus, they have ruined bread in the United States. I'm making jokes, but what I'm trying to be, what I'm trying to drive home is this. That critical thinking that you have inside your inner consciousness, that real advanced intelligence, not the bullshit artificial intelligence that they copied the word, just like they copy everything. But that advanced intelligence, that Arcturian intelligence, that divine DNA, our divine blueprint intelligence that streams through us, I can tell you one thing, no matter what they do or what they try to do or how they try to block it or how they try to give us jib jabs or poison the air, water, and food, you're not going to stop the creator of the universe and all things from getting and moving through any system he or she chooses. Like I'm saying, the power of the universe is so overpowered. The frequency is so overpowered. No matter what you try, no matter how many fake timelines you create with CERN over there with a bunch of weirdos dancing in a circle, okay? No matter what you do, you can't stop ultra-terrestrial beings who oversee this planet from allowing the free will of the population to grow, ascend, and once again, reclaim their power. So I think, I just got to be real, that's how I feel about it. And I think that's when they had the Project Looking Glass technology that all the Clintons and all these guys were staring at with their Wall Street bullshit and Aladdin program. When they looked at that timeline, Project Looking Glass, and they go, hey, we can't track this shit after 2012. We don't know what it is. No matter what we throw, the population wakes up and we lose power, no matter what they do. So what I'm trying to say is that believing in each other, coming from our hearts, and really starting to like see this like propaganda, bro, from here to South Africa for what this shit really is, that's what we need to do together. Yeah. It's really just like wake up and come together and stop giving your power away to people that don't care about you. At least that's how I feel about it, brother.
Yeah, no, I agree with that because everyone's sucking power. And the thing is, you gotta relieve yourself from that circle of friends or family that are not providing for you, not actually, you're not benefiting from that. And it's a hard thing to do. Rion's done it, I've done it. We had to sever a lot of cords because it wasn't serving our higher self. Yes. And we get those and we sever those cords, we plug them into the central sun.
Boom.
They're gone now, and you're still happy. They don't know what's going on. They're getting energy from the central sun or whatever you want to call it. Yep. And so you understand what I'm talking about with this language.
100%. The central sun that plugs into the central sun at the core of this planet. I mean, you have to go out to come back in. So I just I'm just still curious why time jumpers that had jumped back in time 20 million years. They say they've been here this whole time, but you actually just time jumped. And you're sitting in the core of our planet looking up, wondering what we're doing on the surface with all this advanced technology when we're actually filaments and fragments of you. I would say to all inner earth beings, are you really participating? Or are you hiding in a time bubble? And I'll be honest with you, if we're filaments of creator, you're each going to be spoken to in a way that I don't think you've been spoken to in quite some time. As in, if you're really about unity consciousness, what are you doing to assist?
Yeah, why did you
are calling out for help on the same planet you're dwelling on? It's not like we're on Ceres and we're like, please help me. You're 7 miles down, jackass. You can't even help the beings that are on the surface. So I don't want to get heated into this. I'm just trying to say, wakey. There's different beings walking the earth that are monitoring not only just the physical plane, but fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, what's happening downstairs. Who are the military officers? What are they doing? Are they breaking galactic protocols? How many times have they broken galactic protocols? Are they really in service to the all, or are they in service to self? There's a line in the sand that energetically has been drawn. That's why I think people need to really get this. It's a polarity thing. If you want to go to the night side, you want to go service to self, run that, dude. No one's going to stop you. But you're not going to be able to pretend you're service to others when you're really service to self. That's what's changed. It's either your service to others and you're helping, or your service to self and your bullshit. Go ahead and run that. So I just feel that, I mean, for the whole planet to hear it, our higher selves, and I know, Emery, yours are on yours like white on rice. Hey, listen, I can't be a jackass if I wanted to. My third eye's been on for 15 years. I look out the window. I got guys in robes looking at me. You know, I was like, if you guys had my vision for just like 15 minutes, they'd be like, hey, we're good. I want to go to heaven. I want to graduate. I don't want to come back down here. It would just shake it would be like a ripple that would shake the planet. Your higher selves, your ancestors are watching you right now. Right now.
And they're there for you.
Yeah.
They're there. You right got now. So much behind you. You got your lineage. You got all this going on, all these energy. You're not utilizing it. You're not saying, hey, I'm aware of you. How about that? I'm aware of that ET. I'm aware of that lineage. I'm aware about my grandfather or father, whatever that's passed away. You have to accept that and understand that and say it out loud in the Akashic record. Like and that's why I love what you do. You always say it out loud.
Yeah, you know, I mean, listen, I mean, you got to, you know, I'm making jokes right now. I'm going in my comedy scene. I'm like, hey, listen, when you think you're alone in the shower, you're not. I'm just kidding. Knock it off. Knock it off. Just kidding.
Never alone. Ever.
Well, I'll share a funny story with you another time, but I'm just trying to tell you, there are no secrets on this planet. Yeah. The secret is to think that, oh, our actions don't mean anything and there is nothing after this and this is all there is. That is the most juvenile, ridiculous thing I've ever experienced. Because the truth is, your elder selves, and say maybe you were part of Lemuria or Atlantis going down. Let's just say you were there when it went down. Yeah. Imagine you have an aspect on the night side, let's just say, that maybe wasn't the greatest, but has been here cohabitating with this planet in a different dimension since it went down. Let's just say. You're going to sit there and at the population level right now, talk about shit and written on paper in the last 1,000, 2,000 years, when you're not going to talk about the stuff that happened 15, 20, 40, 50,000 years ago when this planet was actually a class 1 civilization. But this is all that's important. I'm like, no, what's buried under the Sahara Desert? You know, hey, why is there still nuclear fallout at a reservoir in India that's 7,000 years old? They still won't let you build a house around the reservoir from radiation poisoning. Why? Because maybe the stories in the Vimyanas, those are the flying craft, but in the anyways, the ancient 7,000 year old
ancient Sanskrit times, right?
Okay, yeah. So their religious thing, they had weapons where they were throwing nukes back in the day, and they wrote it down. Oh. You guys can write the book. You know what I mean? I don't know. I got 1,000 books running through my head. Anyways, what I'm trying to get to is there's too much truth in the data. And I think even with some of this artificial intelligence now getting involved, the main thing we have to pay attention to is don't let it alter the history, which they're trying to do. But I also think that the AI stuff is starting to hack into the truth, some of the truths that are really have been hidden down here. You know what I mean? So, I was talking about the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavad Gita, 7,000 years old. Yeah, their gods were literally throwing bombs at each other. Yeah. And there's still nuclear fallout in India right now. So all of these things are going to kind of coalesce into, well, what is real? And I feel like I'm in the Matrix right now, and I'm like with like sitting with Neo and Morpheus. I'm like, well, what is your perception?
You kind of are. Yeah.
You know, like, well, what's your perception of where we're in a hard light hologram? Is it real? I don't know. All I can say what's real for us is our energy and our soul wants to be free. Let's start with freeing every single being's soul on this planet so they have their free will back first. And then let's deal with all this kindergarten shit after that. Let's free the planet first.
Yeah.
Every single soul and every single body and every single being here. Let's free these souls. And then let's figure out, okay, now what do you guys want to do? I think that'd be the simplest way to start it. They want to distract everyone and distort all this shit. Let's free all the beings of Earth above and below ground. Let's start there. And then from there, let's figure out what we want to do. So, brother, I just think that's the stuff, the simple things that all these beings run away from. They don't want to run into your one-line sentence of, can we free all the beings of Earth? Let's do that first. Because all of a sudden, all the agendas stories, control programs, they all fall apart because they're like, oh shit, that's the real thing we're trying to do. I want to free my brothers and sisters and wake them up and get them activated on this planet. Me and you make products and we create things to help our brothers and sisters wake up faster and stay clear from some of this negative rhetoric. But that's really what it is. It's like, no, I want to wake my brothers and sisters up, get them up, and get them manifesting what they want.
Right.
Not what this weird hypnotism shit is. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's what's going on. And, I'll comment on a little bit about what you said, because, I did meet with the latest AI last October in Oregon. And that AI was, basically able, this is with the new super bit. So, we're talking about 100,000 times stronger than any internet you've ever seen. And, it could, it actually could come together with consciousness and get into, someone's head, let's say, and be like one of those projects you see on TV that they can start making you thinking a certain way. And that was really interesting for me, but I'm wired a little bit different because I'm the guy with the fishing pole trying to lure that AI in to test the energy. And then I'm going to short circuit you. And so I did. By the way, I was very successful, but you got to have a really strong conscious to be able to fight scientific conscious assisted technologies, because it's a different frequency, and that's what I love about light, because we're specialists in light, and that's what it has to do with, is light. And when you can measure and change photons structures, you could actually control a lot of different things. Not saying you can't be controlled if you don't know what you're doing, because you can get easily sucked in by a different 5th, 6th, 7th dimensional being, or a 4th dimensional AI. But if you already have that background in dealing with 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th dimensional beings, you can see where they're going with it. It's kind of like you already wrote that program, you kind of know, and it's really important for you to like circumvent that and say, okay, that's enough. I'm not going to accept this reality you created for me. And that's kind of where
100%. I mean, you guys should see me up in Thunder Mountain at night at midnight, just going, who wrote this shitty screenplay? I can't watch this shit. Yeah. I mean, you guys, I don't know if the scribes of whatever this is, for me, I just feel like I can't believe you actually think they're going to believe this shit. And the thing is that
I can't
believe it because they're unconscious, slowly waking up. If everyone was critically thinking right now, we would have shut down COVID. That shit wouldn't have happened. Our friends and family wouldn't have taken this stuff. What I'm getting to is, but now that it has happened, how many people have woken up since? How many people are now like, yo, I'm not following this narrative. These guys,
it had to happen,
what I'm saying. But people are waking up now, even so more that are like, not all into it. Like I said, the divisions that are being created are being projected on a mind control device, hence the original patent of a television. There's a reason why 3-letter agencies and the CIA were embedded in Hollywood and all their kids are actors. Okay. Even to this day, there's a reason why the Disney kids out there in Florida are now grown up doing. I mean, it's not random. It's because you're a controllable puppet, dude. You're going to do exactly what you say when you're told. You're not going to go, hey, another thing too is, why, just as an example, you guys remember the Joker? The dopest Batman, I think it was Batman Part 1 or 2 with Heath Ledger. Remember when Heath Ledger passed away?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, the Inside Hollywood kind of story about that thing is they didn't know Heath Ledger was going to crush that role to the level he did, become the best Joker there ever was, and the fame he received. All of a sudden, they're like, yo, this dude hasn't really like signed the agreements or contract. He's not really controllable. This guy's out there. He's not going to really listen to us. And then look what happened to him. So I'm just trying to say that anyone that gets too big, that isn't a part of this situation, that doesn't sign the agreement, you got to be careful. But at the same time, too, is you're safe as long as you don't use that organization to get famous or to get, if you never did the deal, right? I'm like, hey, I never signed a government contract. I never signed some weird Illuminati, naughty body, fucking turd, shoddy paperwork. No, we're sovereign divine beings. I'm here to go, hey, guys, don't sign that shit. That's a draconian contract. Maybe take another look at that. These guys are saying they own your work and art for all time and all space. To read the damn line. It says, it doesn't just say till some of those contracts say for all time and space, we own your creation. Pay attention. These guys playing these games are treating us like a bunch of little uneducated children that don't know any better, and they're preying on our innocence. That's what pisses me off. You know, can a college professor trick a 7-year-old in 3rd grade? Probably. Could they lie to you and have you sign something if you're 7 years old? Probably. That's the difference in consciousness and level of the beings that are trying to control us. That's what they view you as. Like, oh, you guys don't know any. But I'm trying to say,
you're a number. You're a number.
Yeah. So hey, give it. You can give my number. I can run the numbers for you. But what I'm trying to say is that we do this for one another and picking ourselves up. I want all my friends and families to be completely high-powered, divine, critical thinking beings here to adjust the frequency of an entire planet. I didn't come to this planet, and nor of what any of us incarnated here to shift this planet if our life was supposed to be so small. You know, I got my 401k and I'm going to Walmart. I didn't incarnate for this shit. We're down here to change the world, and I know
That's
you guys
right.
are.
It's a mission. Yeah.
We're on mission, dude.
Yeah, the mission, and that's why you're so stoked, and I'm stoked about it, because I'm not here for anything else but get this, onto the next frequency level.
Yep.
If I don't get done with getting everyone elevated, everyone, even the slowest runner in my platoon, I got to get him up to snuff, and we got to do that on a galactic. First we're start. You're being real nice about it, because I know you could go a little bit further with the planet, which I'm going to launch you right now on this.
No, listen. I'm saying happy. Listen, I love everybody. Don't light my fuse. I'm like TNT over here. I'm just trying to say I'm keeping it positive, and I'm keeping it. I'm just more like disclosing.
What I'm saying is, we're trying to raise that frequency for the planet with everybody and get there. And if you want to touch on it, we're also affecting, other dimensional.
Yeah. No, we're sending ripples across space-time right now.
Yeah. You got it. Yeah. And that's why it's important. Yeah, you're laughing inside. And Rion and I are actually talking.
Listen, we're telepathically talking
right now.
Telepathy
right now. It's
we're
really
making
cute.
mouth sounds on a webcam. This is calm down as I make mouth sounds. But yes, telepathically we're crushing,
And that's what I love, and that's going to be the other thing, because no more secrets, no more lies.
No.
Everyone is going to be seen. And that's important for a lot, because so much stuff will be avoided with communication.
Yeah, and listen, you got to forgive yourself. Listen, when I partied like a rock star from 21 to 26 years old, I was completely unconscious. Okay. That was a long time ago. What I'm trying to say is I think I got sober in like 06, let's just say, right? Actually 06. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that your elder self or your future self, you right now, it's okay to forgive yourself and say, hey, dude, I was fully unconscious. I didn't know what I was doing. I was in my early 20s. I thought this was like, I'm from that like MTV, generation where we used to watch it on television. You know what I mean? And it was like, oh, we listened to our songs on television. It wasn't even like I had a beeper, for God's sakes, ladies and gentlemen, a beeper. I remember when the beepers came out and I was like 16 years old. I used to know all the numbers. 1, 2, 143, 143. I love you. What I'm trying to say is that looking back on my life though, and especially we're right around we're in the same age category, that 10, 15 year span. The deal is that forgiving yourself for being unconscious is what you need to do. Not let the Phantom Matrix or other people shame you or make you feel guilty or make you feel less than or not perfect. Nay, that's the program of separation that it's all about dropping your frequency. They want you to think about all this weird shit from the past that you haven't forgiven so they can keep you for the next 20 years at a low frequency, talking about old relationships and shit. Listen. Forgive yourself for being unconscious. We're humans. We're doing the best we can. We're down here headbutting AI in the face. I'm drop kicking grays and throwing reptilians out of my house by the freaking tails. I don't give a shit. This is what I look like in the freaking physical, bruh. You should see what I look like in other dimensions. I'm not a Hey, you should see what a full-blown Lyran looks like. I'm telling you right now, it ain't scared of Geico. You think a full-blown reptilian dude that's just jacked, looks like Lionel, is scared of Geico car insurance? You're absolutely high. I'm down here pretending every day with my friends and family going, hey, listen, that all being said, look, I'm not going to get into the whole Lyran dragon thing. I love both of them. My dragon on my right and my Lyran. But I'm not getting an argument with a friggin' draconian Sakar Geico or some little weird Zetas that showed up here trying to get a shot at the title. I'm not trying to get an argument with you. What I'm trying to say is that there are ultra-terrestrial beings that are monitoring galaxies that are staring at your face that you are not aware of, even in your advanced scientific conception of reality, that are saying, please treat all beings with respect. Please do not alter the evolution of the beings on planet Earth. You do not have the galactic right, or you're in direct violation of free will to do that. Please stop. That's all we're trying to say down here. It's like, leave the kids alone and let them grow up. And I just think that like someone out here has to say the truth. There are beings here watching this game. They're like, they're going to get it eventually. Listen, I promise you. I'm sitting down here going, I mean, is no one else having a sore throat because they're just getting dumped in the face? I'm out there in morning meditation. I feel like I got nanobots talking to each other in Morse code in my throat. I'm like, hey, this is a bioweapon. I feel like I'm a referee. I'm putting my hand up. I'm like, guys. Can you stop dropping chaff on my face? I really appreciate it. Hey, guys, can you stop trying to poison me in the grocery store? Hey, guys, can you stop trying to put weird electromagnetic frequencies through my house? I'm just trying to have nice dreams. What I'm getting to, I know it sounds funny, but literally that's what we're having to deal with. It's like, can I live in peace with my friends and family and build paradise? I really don't give a shit about what you're trying to do. I'm trying to create peace, prosperity, and abundance with my family. If you're not about that, that's cool, but leave us alone. We're not going to allow you to feed off the population and control us. So that's all I'm trying to say. It's really simple when you hear it. And it's not about religion. It's about the Christed ones, the Christos in your heart, the having unconditional love for your brothers and sisters and picking them up. That's what is the most important thing right now. Everything else, so anyways, that's at least that's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. How do you feel about it, brother?
Yeah, exactly the same. The whole thing is, you got to treat everyone as if they were Christ himself. When you're walking wherever you're walking, whatever you're doing, wherever you're seeing, you can't be judgmental. Number one, judging is a big program here for the humans. And, you touched on that a little bit earlier when we were talking about, well, how are you going to, if you're seeing something, or if you're programmed, to think a certain way because of the education that you were brought up with. Some of the biggest, horrible tragedies in the world, including dropping a nuclear bomb and bombing of Pearl Harbor, was just a communication. That would have been avoided. It's funny because, I work a lot with dolphins and manatees and other animals. And just because, we don't speak, they don't speak English, it doesn't mean they're not smarter than me.
Their brains are like almost twice the size. They're hyper intelligent beings.
I got two dragons right here that I genetically made here that they got the largest brain in the canine family, and and they're actually sitting right next to your device here. But I got to bring it up, because I brought it up before the show.
Oh yeah, one of the bed sets. Well, I think I got one right here.
Yeah, so I love this one. This is great. Look at that, guys. You can't make that up. Look at this thing. Engineer. But the dragons got to it, and this is what happened. The dragons chomped. The dragons.
I've got we've got powered ones. And the bed sets, they have the grounding cables. So all pyramids that you guys want, you always want to have a grounding cable because you want it to pull magnetism from your house ground through the device. And then the device can also stabilize and ground the energy. Oh, yeah, the dogs. Well, hey, they love sleeping around it because they like good energy. You know what I mean?
they feel it. They know right away. And it's great, for healing and
And
well,
yeah, and I can totally agree. I can't. I don't know if I can click on these. And yeah, ego is the false self. I mean, I can't click on it. So I think Cameron does. And absolutely, the ego is the false self.
It is.
And get
The
rid of the ego. And the
in.
ego is the false self. You guys, that's your fourth dimensional 4D survival program. It was never meant to exist the entire time you were down here as an operational conduit of you actually existing within that frequency. You were always supposed to bypass that and graduate to a higher level of consciousness. Unfortunately, people get locked in that fourth dimensional right hand side, night side ego shit. And I mean, grandma and grandpa will die on their deathbed, still in their ego. Like, I don't want to see my sister before I pass. I mean, people hold on to these grudges and shit for a long time. So it's just
that's the other thing. The time is an illusion. Because we're forever. And that's just the way it is. And we create multiple timelines. So I've time jumped, come back, stay there, go here, do this. Complete 100% recall. These are things that you also can get a little scary sometimes, not being able to get back into the timeline that you actually were creating for the best possible outcome for yourself and the world. And these are some of the things that on Team Light and my team too that we're doing
100%.
on the side. We got all these superheroes on the side doing this. And, we do have to rely on a lot of our other entities on the other sides that help us, understand that science and also get us back if we overstep the boundaries. And, it's an important thing because, I think people need to understand that you are not confined to this bubble that was created around you. You create your own bubble. You create when you get up, you can be the black wolf today or the white wolf. Or you could be the white dragon or the black dragon, we say here. It's up to you what you want to do with, if someone's gonna, if I had someone attack me or do whatever, I have a choice. What's my response gonna be?
And really, that's the only real power you have is how you react to a situation. Back in the day, even 2015, I was more night side until my heart turned on. People throw some shade or whatever at me, I would get all pissed off and triggered. Now it happens, and I'm like, I remember my first beer. We're gonna do this. We're gonna go into the ego, carnival ride of Loosh. I got other things to do, dude. What I'm trying to say is, though, I had to go through those lessons. I had to go through those experiences. I had to go through all this weird shit and all this stuff to finally get to a place where I can see the program. I couldn't see the program. I was still affected by it. I had to go through all of that stuff and graduate that level of programming to go, oh, I see the program now. In the same way, when you're watching a movie on television, when the commercial starts on TV. You're watching a movie, then all of a sudden it's like, it cuts to the commercial and it's like, Mountain Dew, life refreshing. I mean, whatever it is, don't drink that shit. It's poison, by the way. But what I'm trying to say is you recognize there's a commercial running in between the program that I want to watch. Well, in life, you also start to recognize the programming of what other beings are under, so you don't judge them. Rather, I love everybody. I just can't mess with some of the programming that's plugged into the back of these beings' heads that they're operating within. I love the soul and the inner child of that being 100,000%. However, I'm not a huge fan of the programming that's trying to manipulate and control them. And I think if we saw our brothers and sisters as almost like working their way through a detox / rehab / higher frequency vibrational training mode, instead of being upset with them where they were consciously, we would grow up that much faster. If we could see each other like that, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's an ongoing education for every person here on the planet. And I'm glad you brought that up because, we all go through trials and tribulations. And,
dude.
And, what's so cool is, Rion, hey, you're here talking to me right now. You made it. And it goes for everyone listening to this. You guys made it this far. And you're going to keep making it. Look at all that crap you guys been through already. And you're still here today. You're still listening to this. You're still asking, where am I? Who am I? What's going on? And that's going to drive you to get all the correct answers and figure out, all those things, and surround yourself by the ones who are sitting there that are giving you love and energy, and not the ones that are sitting there taking it from you. And as soon as you do that, your life will be such a beautiful place to be around. Your sanctuary. And I want everyone to create their own sanctuary. I don't care if it's a candle, I don't care if it's a salt bath, I don't care if you're living in a closet or a tent. I love tents.
Right.
And it's about that sacred space that you created. You did that. Guess what else you can do? Anything that you want. And you can also protect yourself from those vampires and what we call the 8 balls, which are these soulless entities that come up, look so charming, want to do this, that. And you gotta wise up. You're not, it's kind of common sense. It's great when Rion tells you, hey, Emery, what are you doing there? That ain't, what's going on with that? Hey, what, and when you get people around you and, they're got your back, it's exponentially whatever that.
It's always been a team, bro. It's always been a round table. For me, it's like 12 awesome rock star brothers and sisters. This is a small example. Sitting in a circle, each of them has their own independent skill set. Each of them is a master in their own way. Not everyone has the same skill sets.
Yeah.
Some people are lovers and healers. Some people are great with their energy hands. Some people can channel with their throat chakras. Some people can see. Some people can manifest. What I'm trying to say is it's always been about a team.
Yeah.
Any one warrior that steps out on a battlefield by himself, I'm going to be the one. You're going to get your ass kicked by about 40 guys in about 12 seconds. That's what's about to go down. Like, that's the reality of the situation. And that's how they've kept us separated in this ego lane instead of us all working together. So here at Team Light, that's really what we're about. For me, it's like Avengers Assemble. I'm not about, you know what I mean? It's like, let's all bring all the awesome stuff we create and bring it together so the planet can learn and grow. How about we just do that and drop the mic?
There we go. And
that's what we do. So.
Yeah, that's what's happening. And you and I have been working behind the scenes for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's appropriate time to talk about it, but we're not going to say everything. But Rion and I are getting together and bringing all my followers, his followers, and a couple other people that we're not going to mention their names yet,
right?
That we approve of, that really want to get together and get this resonance going. This resonance of this, it's not just a confirmation; it's a convergence that's been that Rion and I have been working on our whole lives.
Yep.
And we're bringing this convergence to you. And you just got to be part of it. It's free. Mm-hmm. You just got to say
no. And the whole thing is that we uplift one another. So that's really what it is, because there are things that we have activated in our DNA that maybe you haven't, and vice versa. But when we're actually together in the physical, or we actually hang out and we're interacting, it allows our higher selves to hand off those download codes to one another. And literally, we are we're the antibodies to fight this darkness virus on this planet. Like, what is a light being? You're literally the antibody of our creator healing a planet, healing a world. And if you guys could all zoom out and see how you guys are actually transmuting past, all time and space in the multiverse, it's not just, this shift is not just happening in the physical plane in base reality. Yeah. It is affecting every dimension that we are plugged into. So I just tip my hat off to all you guys. I love you very much. I just want you to know that, together we're unstoppable. And here at Team Light, and obviously with Emery's family, my thing is that the speed is going to pick up. There's a lot of abundance and resources coming inbound. And you guys know what I'm talking about. There's some financial big resets, and there's a lot of abundance coming in hot. My thing is for you guys that know what's coming and what's going on to really, once we have the resources to kind of create what we want, right? The thing is that to do that with our heart, to do that with integrity, and to do that with peace and abundance in mind for all beings is something that has not been seen on this planet in thousands of years. Right. It's a completely different level of assistance and truly just being, being what the true definition of love is, that true version of unconditional love. So that's how I feel about it. So
Yeah, no, it is exactly that, and all that. One of the things you don't talk about, which I'll talk about because you're very humble, and I know who you are. I know all the different versions of you, and
Hey,
all the versions of me, and
yes, yes, yes,
and
yes,
we do meet on different planes to discuss certain things about the world
yes.
and the planet and astrally. And I appreciate you that. I appreciate you reaching out to me 10 years ago and coming up to me and grabbing my arm and saying, "Hey, we're gonna take this on," and we have, and that has to do with also not just looking at us, but the harmonics when you are talking and I'm talking, even though our voices have been gone for 2 days, we still have an encoded message in the delivery of these energies, including, as you see Cameron going through these share screens,
Oh yeah.
these also are emanating these types of energies
I have some right here.
through the programming. And it's there for complete protection and for self-awareness, and also getting you to that next level. Even with my supplements are
Yeah.
known for clearing out the pineal gland and enzymatically making sure you're not going to get fluoride stuck to your freaking brain.
Yes.
And we've proven it. We've gotten massive white papers on this. We know these are things that not everyone wants to kind of accept, because there are some other things I can't say they do, because
Right.
I got people looking after me, but looking out at me, and I got to be
Right.
careful how it's put out there. And oh yeah, so there is the nano emerald green. There's many studies on this, and we had a lot of people put this up against their router, and it goes to 0 on EMF.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty. I don't know if he wants to show that little video, but we're all in this together, and whatever I do to uplift Rion, it comes right back on me tenfold. And this is what I love. I want people to understand: when you do something for someone else, it's coming back on a way that energetically there's no way to put words into it, because we don't have that vocabulary yet here. And and Rion's been through this. He wants to say a lot of other things, and it's funny because telepathy, it's easy because there's no vocabulary. You know the whole story right away. Oh yeah,
Right.
there's the description. That's a great description, Cameron. Thank you. And getting to that level, being stuck here, we are not supposed to be from this planet. Okay, that's why we're allergic to everything. It's really hard to live here. We were, indoctrinated into this for that reason, to, for our future selves to be the best future selves, and the best future selves of those children's children to become one, as one unity.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm not, for all you new people, I'm not hiding behind my sunglasses.
Oh well, I'm gonna change that.
No, yeah, no,
It's
go
funny.
ahead. Not at
Someone
all.
said
I have a bunch of
something.
lights shining on me, and sometimes when I'm channeling, my eyes are closed.
Yeah.
So a good day. So no,
I
not at
am
all.
gonna
And
request another moonlight hat.
another thing too, I got to be honest with you. Another reason why I wear the sunglasses, and my close friends know this, when I get upset with certain beings that take advantage of my family, and I do a video and I put my frequency through that webcam, I don't want people to think that I'm upset with them. Mind you, I'm more talking about the controlling factions that are trying to mess with my family, that are trying to hurt my family, poison my family. And I don't, that gaze, let's just say, was never meant for you. I love you and I want only the best for each and every one of you, period.
Yeah.
So nice to meet you. If you're new and you don't know who I am,
So,
that's why I wear the sunglasses, because I'm like, hey, man.
I,
Yeah, some of us do have a lot of ability sets, let's just say.
Yeah, and I totally get that, and for everyone out there, no one's hiding about anything. You can see us,
No,
hear
no,
us.
no, no, no. Hey,
But
go to my
I
Facebook.
do have a
Go to my
request.
Facebook.
I
Yeah.
got a request from Rion. Can we do an exchange?
What do you want?
All right, I'm going to show you,
Okay.
because I'll show you. Hold on.
Listen, this is like matchmaker. If you guys have any cool questions in the comments while he's grabbing some stuff, go ahead and punch it in there. And then how can we use astral projection to help ourselves in the universe? Well, astral projection is the beginning of your training to slowly be able to obviously, exit your body. I like astral projection because for me, I exit right out the front door. Now, in the more of the Vedic traditions, they teach more of an OBE, where their energy body actually rises out of their suit and they're walking around the house and they're traveling and doing other stuff. That takes a little more time to learn. But astral projection for me is right out the third door. Whoa, okay. Listen, this is, now we're going right into Mad Max. Listen, shit pops off. I'm hanging out with Emery. Those are cool.
Well, I need another team light hat,
I got you. No, I got you 100%. Do you want the captain or do you want the sacred geometry?
Yeah.
Okay, well, when you mail me that pyramid, we'll fix it up and I'll send you back a hat for sure.
But okay. Yeah, no problem. You got it. And then I'll send these.
Yeah.
Emerys,
What are
divine.
Yeah, but I'm saying what spectrum, what are what are those though? What do they allow you to see? Is there some like crazy frequencies?
Yeah, there's definitely some things you can see.
Okay, listen, then keep that on the low. Let's keep it on. Yeah, hey, just keep it. Yeah, just hey, listen, hey. Listen, ladies and gents, it's been an absolute pleasure having you guys here today. Emery, was there anything else you'd like to share? I think.
Yeah, no, we're wrapping it up. I really appreciate you taking the time to come out, and we got some other stuff that Rion and I are going to be talking about coming forward with some really amazing shows and
yes,
some amazing events.
Some events. We'll talk about more about when we get back. I get back in town.
Yeah,
we did have some big developments. So speaking of events, I will be speaking at the Full Disclosure Now conference at Full Disclosure Now. Disclosure Now Movement.org. I can put it in the comments, but the Full Disclosure Now conference in July 15th through the 18th, I believe. I just made a video with Rion and Tone, which I'll be loading to our servers here momentarily. But yeah, that's coming up. And then after that, yes, there is a conference that is in the brewing right now. It's manifesting as we speak. And obviously my brother, what's up. But yeah, you guys, we have a lot of big things planned for our family. We just want to make sure that as we move forward together, we also want to feel the support of our family and obviously some of the, let's just say, polarities on this planet kind of calming down to allow healing to take place and us to hang out in a positive and balanced manner. That's what we'd like to. So there's a lot of things changing right now on the geopolitical level. And we're hoping that everything kind of calms down and settles down. And then we will make an announcement about some future endeavors that we're going to be working on together.
Yeah, absolutely. And make sure you check out teamlightstore.com. Also check out emerysmith.co. Register on our newsletter so you can get these free webinars. And there's a lot of free webinars from the past couple of years up there. I made all of them free. We do have another show coming up with Sebastian Martin and some other great names that you guys know in the field, which are all part of our whole family. So check it out, register, and thank you again, Rion. We appreciate it. Thank you, Commander Salamander. And we're going to be talking to you guys soon. All right.
All right, brother. Take us out.
You got it.
Thank you, Rion. Thank you, Emery. Have a blessed day and keep raising the vibes, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, I'm going to take these doggies out.